Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time we're on Season 2, Episode 14, titled Love in the Time of Hydra, which, given what Hydra is, seems next to impossible, unless you love Hydra. Um, but yeah, last time we had, I'd say quite the episode, I think quite the ending of an episode especially. We ended with two different things. One, which was Cal being picked up by Gordon, and Gordon saying that, it was some higher authority's responsibility to punish Cal or to decide what happens to him because he'd been making too much noise by releasing all of the Index members or most of them onto Coulson. He'd been making too much noise, and so they need a way to find him to be quiet because the Inhumans. I don't think they're people who want to be, like thrown out into the world and unveiled. Like Cal, Cal, he mainly wants Daisy to, rise out of the ashes like a brand new Inhuman Phoenix. But in general, what he's doing is bringing attention to like gifted people in a very very bad way. So they need a way to keep him quiet after that. So he picked him up. And we also had Mac keeping Hunter prisoner for the majority of the episode, and then by the end of it, he took him to the place where Mac and Bobby seem to be working from now. Apparently, the real shield, or as some people in the comments are calling it, the pointier shield, because their logo is an actual pointy shield with an eagle and 3 stars and stuff. So there's another shield out there. There's a different shield. Yes, and that's the one that Bobby and Mac have been working for. I think we know that Bobby and Mac themselves have been working together as part of Shield for a long time, and it wasn't even for a while after Mac even met Hunter that Hunter even found out that Bobby was a Shield agent in the first place. Because they explained like the history, like they were working a mission in Dubai, but then the Shield stuff was a cover. So yeah, so that they hid that from them. So he took them. He took Hunter to the new Shield. So it's being run by someone else clearly, and I don't know what the purpose of this new Shield is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, given Mac's anger towards Coulson earlier in the series, I'd have a feeling that maybe he's just happy to work for a Shield that isn't run by Coulson specifically. Maybe he has reservations against Coulson. Maybe he has like a difference of opinion into how he runs. I mean, well, he does. He does have a difference in opinion because he's expressed that Coulson never really tells them anything. He just gives out orders and expects them to follow up on the orders. So maybe this is a shield where people are mostly equal, and it's everyone has access to the information that they feel that they need to know about. But I don't know. It's being run by someone else. I thought initially maybe it could be Maria Hill, but then after much deeper thought, I realized that Maria Hill would never turn her back on Fury or Coulson like that, so it can't be run by her. But there's another shield out there. So how long these people are going to last? How long these guys are going to last as the real shield or the new shield? I mean, we don't know how long they've actually been up and running for just yet. But I don't know. I mean, because Coulson's one was booted up like almost straight after the end of season 1. And that's it. That's been going on for like a month or so now, like a good few months. So if this shield started up then too, then I don't know. It could be just as big, just as or maybe even bigger, or just as like efficiently run. But we will find out. All this stuff we will find out. But there is another shield out there, so that's that. And we also had May's ex-husband popping in for a visit. He was not a shield agent. Someone pointed out to me he was not a shield agent. He was a consultant. He was a consultant, kind of psychiatrist of sorts for Shield to get some kind of like evaluation assistance from. He did a psych evaluation on Skye because she was going on the Index. And he was the one person that May and Coulson actually trusted, and May especially because she used to be married to him. But he moved on. He left Shield. He moved on. I think he worked at a university or something now. And he also moved on romantically too. He had like another girlfriend or a wife or something. He had a picture kind of turned inwards on the desk so no one else could see it. But he did say that he had actually moved on. So yeah. And he was surprisingly calm with Daisy's abilities, her quakes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's Shield, so I think he has some kind of understanding, and like, I think he knew about the fall of Shield too. He knew all about the Hydra uprising and stuff like that. So I think he probably knew about the Battle of New York. I mean, well, yeah, like the public knows about the Battle of New York, and they know about the Avengers, but they just don't know the intricate, more Shield centric information about the Battle of New York, like Loki and the Tesseract and stuff like that. So Yeah, all sorts of good stuff. All sorts of good stuff. But that is all I have from the last one. So, episode 14, Love in the Time of Hydra. Let's go.
And what about you, handsome?
Oh,
Try the pumpkin
him.
pancakes.
Handsome, really? I don't see
How
it.
about I grab you some pecan syrup while your friend makes up her mind?
Oh, Agent 33? Yeah.
Pancakes. All right, everybody on the ground.
Oh! Oh, damn. Oh, taking out the cameras?
She says and nobody gets hurt.
You're gonna fix my face.
Oh. Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, so she wants her face fixed up. Okay. Does he know? Is he S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra?
Maybe if you can learn to control this, then you could have Avengers level powers.
Yeah, she could
Something
become
like
an...
Captain America even.
Yeah.
I think it best we keep in
She
mind
could be a
his nature
superhero.
power. I believe Bruce Banner would not hesitate to cure himself once and for all.
Well, then,
Give it a few years.
I guess we should
And
be
18 months in a
thankful
gamma
that
lab.
we've given him the choice.
Oh, Fitz.
Well, don't
Yeah.
fetch me up me.
Oh, guys, come on. Stop talking about the Hulk. You're stressing her out.
I have no idea how to handle her.
You'll find a way. You always do.
Well, think about it less of handling her and more like helping her. You know?
Okay, we know we're
She's not a suitcase you've been given to take care of. She's another person that you're looking
Skye's
after and training. Oh, okay, he's healing it up. Nice. Okay. So she can go back to looking like to looking like May again. Can she not take it off? Is the original one fused to her skin? Oh, a nice round table for the heads of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Priceless. I guess one boss wasn't enough for you and Bobby.
Wait, isn't that the woman from the university?
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Good to see you, sir.
It's been too long, Mac.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back on board.
Wait, isn't that the guy from Dexter? The professor guy?
Hunter.
Yeah, the Daydream DDK guy. Huh,
None of us
okay.
wanted this. That's great.
We should throw him in the brig.
They got Ricardo Diaz too? Okay, this is a bunch of names. This is a bunch of names falling into this lap.
He's dead.
Fury is dead, but Coulson's alive and well.
No, he's not.
Thanks to one
Well,
of those secrets.
Fury's
It
underground.
seems that instead
Maybe you've drunk the conspiracy Kool-Aid, but there's not a chance in hell Bobby'd ever bow down to any of this.
And she walks in, like the devil herself. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm guessing she's helping make the conspiracy Kool-Aid. Oh, the S's smug little smile, like you were saying? You were saying?
Fury injected him with alien DNA. Ever since, his behavior's grown increasingly more troubling.
So these guys think they're better just because they're human?
Don't share
For
any of
100%?
these concerns.
We've been over this, Agent Simmons, and I'm aware of the consequences, but this is my decision to make.
What is this?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
I got us a little something for the trip.
Candy? Candy! Wait, is that candy? I can't... It looks like candy, yeah.
Working on this junker he insists that I help him fix.
Lola?
My friends were outside playing ball, having fun. There I was, stuck at home with him, fixing that damn car.
Is it Lola?
Was that car a
It was Lola.
1962 Corvette?
Yeah, it was Lola. That's why he doesn't let anyone touch
Well,
it.
he'd be very proud.
Yeah.
Your red Corvette flies. What do I have to offer that you would even want?
Oh god, tell me this is not happening. Oh no!
Surprise.
No, 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 I don't want to see that. No, no. Oh, no, no.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Okay, alright, it's over. It's over.
Between me and Skye, she made it pretty clear the feeling wasn't mutual.
Yeah, and you better remember it. God. How dare you desecrate her face like that?
We were able to dig in, really express our feelings.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's it?
Haven't looked back since.
Well, you wouldn't want to look back at charred corpses, would you?
This will help.
Did he find a picture? Did he find a picture of her original face?
Closure.
Her original face. No?
Bakshi.
Bakshi.
Bakshi was the one who dragged me from my safe house.
Mm-hmm.
Prepped me for Whitehall.
Yeah.
Which is why you need a face-to-face.
It's one hell of a piece of closure.
Was everything okay, Mrs. Talbot?
Mrs.
Well,
Talbot,
obviously not.
That's very informative, sir.
You got two hands, four wheels, one saddle. That's really what it's all about, Lieutenant.
I'm sure.
General
The
Talbot's
supremacy of law knowing.
I see.
All right. Send her up.
Oh, he's falling for it. He's falling for it.
It's a safe house for people with powers.
Huh.
Rogers even spent a few weeks here after he defrosted.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but
So
who's
Captain
supposed to
America
keep safe,
stayed here.
the
That's
people with
cool.
Powers or everyone else?
It's a 5-star review.
Both. She assures me they'll cut your recovery time in half.
Oh, she built her something?
How do they work?
Oh, a gauntlet
The
of
internal
sorts.
wiring emits a surge of electricity to inhibit your powers.
Huh.
So these take my powers away.
More like decrease their magnitude to keep you from hurting yourself.
Ah.
Like I said, we want you to heal.
Seems like a no-brainer.
Just like a dampener almost.
It's a personal call.
Because I'm the Red Corvette.
Because you're one of the few people I know I can trust.
Can't emphasize that point more right now with there being a whole other shield out there.
And if you see me someplace I'm not supposed to be, I'm not there. Damn mask again.
Yeah, the same damn mask.
I believe your daughter goes to school with my boy.
I don't have a daughter, sir.
No, you don't.
Yeah, testing their memory because, you know, you can't remember their lives, but you can carry their faces. Yeah.
When was the last time I got your name right?
Never.
Never.
Never. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're her boss. You probably should get her name right. Oh, he's catching on.
This is not your face.
Oh, gee.
General, please.
This is harassment, right? This would count as harassment, right?
Sorry.
Oh, probably not. No, that's the real Meredith. That's the real Meredith.
Where is she?
Take a deep breath. Calm your mind.
Oh, jeez.
Compliance will be low.
Yeah.
Hi, honey.
Stop right there.
No, it's her.
Guard wasn't at the front, so I just walked in.
Get down.
It's her. Do not shoot your wife.
Now.
Do not shoot your wife. It's her. Oh, God. Oh, it's your wife. Take your gun off of her. Oh, God. See, there's funny and then there's just outright scary. Yeah, that was a good balance of that.
Well, I'm leaving, Bob. So don't try and stop me.
Well, she might not, but they might.
I won't. Everybody else will.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. Oh, oh, damn.
There's nowhere to go.
Oh, jeez, yep, he can take him. He can take him. He can take them. Is this a helicarrier? Or a ferry? There are Quinjets. Do they have their own... What, this is a ferry, isn't it? Yeah, this is a ferry. Yeah, they're on the sea.
Because of what happened to me and Skye, how we both changed. Well, you know what the scariest change is, Gemma? It's you.
He makes a point. He makes a good point. You know, not knowing your friends are still going to be there even after this stuff happens can be a scary change.
We all know Bobby could have taken out that teacup anytime she
I
wanted
might just
to.
have to test that theory out on your face.
Enough.
Yeah, he's very much Diaz already. He's very much Diaz already.
I have no reason to.
Coulson and his secrets? That's the threat. And I think it's time that we remove that threat.
You want to take out... You want to go back... You want to kill Coulson?
Be crazy.
I only need 6.
6 hours to take out Coulson. Is she going to try and take out Coulson? Oh, Agent 33 again.
Kira.
Kara. Or Kara. Kira. It's a weird way to pronounce it, but
Thank you so
you do you.
much. It's going to be a long night.
It is?
Guess we should get started then.
Are they gonna hook up now, or...? No? Oh, they're gonna brainwash Bakshi.
Will my compliance be rewarded?
And he's willing. He's somewhat willing.
It really won't make a difference.
Damn, he's happy to see her brainwashing Bakshi. Okay. End of the episode. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't as big of an episode as I was expecting. I think it seemed, for the most part, it seemed fairly on the down low, not on the disabled list, on the actual down low, but yeah, I think it seemed fairly, somewhat slow paced and somewhat calmer than I'm used to. I think it's just because this week has been an exhausting week for me personally. So it's just weird getting back into this. I think I've gone most of this week without actually having any videos up. So it's a troubling time, and especially in this quarantine. So yeah, but coming back into this, I think I don't know. It just felt somewhat weird, but. Yeah, so we have the new Shield. We discovered who the new Shield is, run by Robert Gonzalez. And I recognize most of these actors from other stuff as well. You'll probably recognize because I called him like the original DDK. I think Professor Geller, he played the daydreamed DDK in Dexter. In the previous season of Dexter, he was Professor James Geller in that, and he was amazing in that. And despite being a daydream in that, he was amazing in there. So seeing him in this is interesting, and we've seen the Professor Weaver, I believe her name. I think she was a uni professor pre Hydra uprising, and she's still Shield though. She's still Shield, but I recognize her as Lynn Pierce from Black Lightning too, so that's cool. And of course, Agent Calderon. He, I think Kirk Acaveda. I know his name is Kirk, but. Kirk Acaveda, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he was brilliant as Ricardo Diaz in a good few seasons of Arrow. So seeing him play the good guy in this, I think, especially because especially since I'm so late to this show, seeing these people in newer stuff first. Well, minus Robert Gonzalez, I think he was Dexter was ages years and years ago, but this is fairly newer. So I think this was one of his newer roles. But seeing the actress who plays Lynn and the actress who plays Weaver and Calderon, seeing them in this, when they then went off of this and moved on to Arrow and Black Lightning stuff, they went straight from Marvel to DC. Seeing them in this is weirder because I know them in their future roles first, in their more present roles first, and then seeing them in this. But I'm interested to see how we go from here. I think again Weaver, we've seen her already. She was a professor who worked with Fitzsimmons back in Shield, and now she's a part of the new Shield. So I would have thought that she was actually one of the people recruited into Coulson's Shield, but apparently she believes in the real Shield and the pointier Shield's policies. So yeah, but these guys, they basically just don't really trust Coulson very much. They blame him for a lot of what happened. I mean, well. They blame him because of, all the stuff he's pursued in the name of science and all the stuff that's happened to him because of the alien writing in his head, Fury having brought him back using alien DNA. And then Coulson kickstarting the mission to track down the secrets and the truths of the alien writing, and then that leading to a whole lot of other stuff that happened. And then Tripp's death, of course, as Weaver mentioned. So they trust him, just not what he's become and what he's having S.H.I.E.L.D. do now. So... yeah, so I mean, I don't know how exactly these guys differ because Shield now is still the same intelligence agency, but it just deals with a lot more now. It enhanced people and enhanced threats exist, and Shield's dealt with them for a long time. And I think they've been dealing with them since World War II. With Captain America, he was on their side, so they were dealing with Captain America, and they were lucky enough to have him on the side. But the Red Skull, he was an enhanced person, and they used alien technology to build their weapons, to build their laser guns. So they've been dealing with it since then. And then the SSR dealt with that stuff, and then out of the SSR's ashes, the Shield was born. It was kickstarted by people like Howard Stark and Peggy and stuff. So since then, they've been dealing with a lot of stuff that any other intelligence agency wouldn't have the goal to deal with or wouldn't have the resources to deal with, but they've dealt with it. They know it's sciences, they know how these things usually work, so they've evolved from that over time. And then with the Hydra stuff, things went absolutely tits up, so they had to rebuild outside of that. And I think what shocks me more is the fact that they don't trust Coulson, but then with Fury, I think that they should know that Fury chose Coulson because he trusts Coulson and because he knows that Coulson is the kind of guy who can handle it. But then seeing everything that's gone on since then has only kind of destabilized their trust in him. Him leading his team on this wild goose chase for the truth behind the alien writing and getting people and losing people in the process, losing people along the way, and putting other people in danger has just made them destabilize their trust in him. So. I trust that being the real Shield, I guess that they would probably deal with enhanced stuff as well, but maybe with a little less bias, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how they would deal with this stuff, but But apparently they see themselves as the real Shield. So yeah, so Mac and Bobby are with them. And yeah, I think it's just a much more different Shield. So yeah, Bobby at the end said she was gonna go back in. That she was gonna go back in, and all she needed was 6 hours of cover, before risking it getting blown. And she said that Daisy wasn't the immediate threat. She said all she needed was 6 hours of cover, and that Daisy wasn't the immediate threat, but that Coulson and his secrets were. So what she means by that troubles me. Like her not only saying that Coulson and his secrets are the more intermittent threat, and that she only needs 6 hours. Okay, so I don't think a person like her would specify the time unless she said, oh, you can kill someone in 12 hours, I can do it in 6. So I wonder if she's actually going to go back in and try and assassinate Agent Coulson or take him out in some way. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, because she's very, very capable physically and mentally, so I wouldn't put it past her that, she's a killer, or that she's capable of ending someone. But taking out someone who's as high profile as Agent Coulson is not going to be an easy task, and I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be easy for her to walk away from, unless she's using this as a cover, unless she's going to go back in. And I don't know, because I don't know if she'd be willing to drop this real shield in exchange for Coulson's shield. I mean, because she was a part of this shield in the first place. She spent so long having this shield as her hidden agenda from Hunter, of all people. Like her and Mac had it as their little secret side project, and now I don't know if this conversation that they had where where Hunter said that that they worked together for a while, and then Hunter suddenly finds out that she's got some kind of hidden agenda up her sleeve, or she's working on some other team on the sidelines. So it's not the first time it's happened. So that means it's not the first conversation about it that they've had either. So I don't know why this conversation would be any different. But then if it did, maybe it would be the conversation that leads her to actually unveil their position and their existence to Coulson. Maybe she goes in undercover again, but then she actually goes to Coulson and tells him the truth, and then we see where things go from there. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I say it out loud and it sounds less plausible, but I don't know. It seems like something that could happen. Like, she wants to trust Coulson. She knows he's a good guy, but like the others, she believes that he's compromised and that his way of leadership is compromised. But other than that, he's still a good, loyal agent. He still wants what's best for people. So that's like a conflicting kind of perspectives there. So I don't know whether we actually see her. I mean, again, I don't want to believe that she would actually that she actually would resort to taking out Coulson. I think she'd go in undercover, but then she'd actually tell Coulson the truth and make him aware of their existence. But Mac's in on the inside too. Mac's back in on Coulson's shield too. So I mean, she don't know if she'd talk it through with him first, and then he'd be like, no, we can't do this. It's too late now. We have to stick with the real shield, with the pointier shield. But I don't know. But goes without saying, I support Coulson's shield 100%. I love those. I love those guys: Fitzsimmons, Daisy, May, Coulson. I love them all. So I stand by that shield 100%. Pointier shield. I don't know who these people are. I mean, there's also Weaver. Weaver is literally the only person I'm familiar with. Everyone else, like the other two characters, literally I've seen them be portrayed as villains in other forms of media. So But yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky pickle. But we'll see. We'll see what exactly her plan is once she gets back on the inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. We had Daisy being taken to a land far, far away, still in America. But yeah, or Canada. I mean, where is this stuff set? I don't know if it's in America. I mean, I'd say it's America because they're frequently able to travel quickly to Washington and all that stuff. So, I mean, they have a supersonic jet, so I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. But regardless, I don't know. He took her to a land far, far away, to a cabin, a safe house for people with superpowers, with, special abilities, and a nice little reference to Cap himself. Rogers actually spent a few weeks there himself. So, I mean, I don't know, timeline-wise, I don't know how that links up, because we saw at the end of the first Avenger, he actually was in some kind of a safe house. He was in one that was, to help, because like Fury wanted to break it to him easily. He wanted to break it to him slowly, ease him into it, instead of just sending it all crashing down on him like a plane. No pun intended. But yeah, like he was in a safe house, like some kind of like shield like headquarter building, in a room, in a room within a room. It was literally a room within a room. But he had like a radio from like an old like 1940s game playing, and the window was styled to resemble some 40s skyline, and there was a fan. Like everything was there to break it to him easily. But then the game was what broke the gist of it. Like the game, he was there, so he remembered the game. So why would it be playing on the radio now? But that was one of the safe houses we saw that they were keeping him in. So to see that they were also keeping him in a safe, I mean, I think this would be the second safe house they were keeping. The first one was the one he woke up in, so that was where they wanted to break the news to him. But then after that, they still, he still definitely needed help readjusting. So, to see exactly how much of his strength he had after being thawed out, because the serum was the one thing that kept him alive, but they didn't know exactly how powerful he was after that. So they kept him in the safe house for a few weeks after that too. So he was in that cabin, and I wonder now if there are any fanfics of that, or if there's anything out there that would actually showcase what Steve got up to in that time, because it seems like that seems more suitable for Steve than it does for Daisy. Like with Steve, he was someone who was clearly thawed out after being frozen for 70 years. So he would definitely need some time. He'd need a much calmer environment. Not to say that Daisy wouldn't, but with Steve, he sounds more likely to go fishing and to release stress and readapt to the world that way, instead of he wakes up in the middle of in the middle of Times Square, but then he can actually adjust to the changing modern world a lot better in a quieter environment, like near where near where the lake is, and where he can roast marshmallows and pretend he's in the 40s again, even for a little bit. With Daisy, she just feels like she's being locked away for her own good, with power dampening gloves that Gemma made for her. So yeah, but it's cool that they have that though. It's cool that, and again, proof that Shield, is the one thing Shield is capable of, or one of the things Shield is capable of, is being able to help enhanced people. So we've seen next to no proof just yet that the real Shield, the pointier Shield, is capable of handling enhanced people. They just seem to think that Coulson's work with the enhanced puts Shield and the people around him at risk, but they seem to be operating as some kind of intelligence agency, and all they've been doing so far is literally spying on Coulson's Shield. They've had 2 spies on the inside, giving them intel, and then that's it. They've got their own little ferry. They don't even have a helicarrier or a bus. They have a ferry with Quinjets on it, so they have that, and then that's it. So again, it's just the first episode of them, so I'm sure in the next episode we'll see them, like how they actually work and what they investigate and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, for people who claim to be S.H.I.E.L.D., I think this is a testament to their ability too, but they've managed to stay off of Coulson's S.H.I.E.L.D. radar for quite some time now. Like, despite having spies on the inside, they've actually managed to, as S.H.I.E.L.D., they've managed to take, keep themselves off the radar, and they've just been letting Coulson take the heat the entire season for this S.H.I.E.L.D., for S.H.I.E.L.D. being like a secret terrorist organization, because, the first handful of episodes were about how, Hydra was inside S.H.I.E.L.D., that, like, therefore S.H.I.E.L.D. is automatically a terrorist organization. Like, they just allowed Coulson to take the heat for that while they rebuilt themselves in some kind of better image, whereas Coulson was fighting to, convince the world that S.H.I.E.L.D. was still on their side and that S.H.I.E.L.D. was still good and that they still want to help them, but the pointy S.H.I.E.L.D. is still just, having trust issues with Coulson because, he's got alien writing and all this, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the safe house is proof that this Coulson's S.H.I.E.L.D. still knows how to and is willing to help enhanced people understand themselves better. And I think that whole dynamic with May as well, like her not knowing how to handle Daisy as her SO, I think that was the issue she was taking. The approach she was taking was, I don't know how to handle her, so don't handle her. She's not a suitcase. She's not like a deadly suitcase that's been handed to you, for like 6 hours or something. She's a person who's clearly going through stuff of her own thanks to these powers now. But she's a person first and foremost, with or without the powers. She's a person first and foremost, and even without the powers, she'd be dealing with her own stress, knowing that her father's out there and that he's a maniac, and that there are other enhanced people out there, and that Trip died as well. He wouldn't have died without her powers being activated. So if she wasn't in the temple, yeah, I get it. Okay, I get it. But still, the point still stands. She's a person with her own stresses, and it's not helping that other people are looking at her more like some kind of deadly object or some kind of foreign object. There needs to be plastered with fragile, handled with care all over her. She's a person, and they're dampening her powers to help reduce the damage she puts out. Because again, whatever she does, no matter how stressed she gets out, she was gonna inevitably hurt other people around her. Which I think it's important to take that into consideration, but it's also important to not let that be her defining point. Sure, she has powers. Did she ask for them? No. Does she hate them? Yes. She doesn't know how to control them at all. So, again, just treating her like an actual person with stress points, just like everyone else, I think is the most important thing. And yeah, and I hate that Agent 33 used her face to try and make out with Ward. I hate that. And even worse, she put on sexy clothes along with it. She was wearing like a gown over some lingerie, and she used her face. I gotta get that. I mean, I don't know if I could effectively cover the entire screen with my hand, but in terms of my line of sight, I covered up most of it. So yeah, I think the voice. I mean, I was lured in with the voice. I think I didn't expect anything else with the voice. I thought he was. I thought she was. I mean, because Ward and May had already been sleeping together pre-Hydra. I thought she was going to stick with May's face, but no. She caught on to how. She caught on to how Ward felt about Skye initially, so she used that. She used that against him and against us as the audience, and that scene. That just makes me get shivers and stuff. That is not what I wanted to see. She desecrated Skye's face by making it, do kissy faces with Ward. Even though Daisy did kiss Ward before, back in season 1, but she didn't know any better. She didn't know any better. So yeah, but Ward doesn't deserve smooches. He deserves a punch to the fucking face. But yeah, that stuff happened. But yeah, Ward and 33, that was an interesting dynamic to see. So he was helping her. He was helping her take out the people who hurt her. He helped her get her face back. He helped her get like a new mask again with the guy who probably originally designed it, and then killed him because otherwise he would have talked. And then after that, he was helping her get back at Bakshi, who was the one who discovered her in her safe house and then dragged her to Whitehall and prepped her for brainwashing. So they've got him now. I thought they were going to kill him, but no. She wants him to get a taste of a sweet bitch called Karma. She wants to brainwash him too. I mean, I don't know if they're going to brainwash him because I think he's already complied. I think he was already Hydra through and through. So I think that there's not really much brainwashing, much more that can be done to him. But then the purpose of the brainwashing, I'm not sure, because he said, I think, because again, he's so far brainwashed, he was already willing. He already asked, if he complied, would his compliance be rewarded? And then she said, it doesn't really matter either way. So, even if he complied, I think it's less about brainwashing him to be even more Hydra, and maybe just more brainwashing him to be more on their side, like doing their bidding, maybe turning him into their lab rat, into their little attack dog, turning him in, like making him do the majority of the dirty work, so that they can decrease the risk of getting their hands caught under the radar. So any killing that they need to do, any extremely risky business that they need to pull off, they'll just put him into the driver's seat and have him hitting the accelerator into risky territory. So that's my guess. If I'm wrong, let me know. But don't let me know. I mean, if it's a spoiler. But yeah, Warden 33. That was Was it interesting? It was interesting. It was interesting. I think. I mean, he's not the right kind of person to give any kind of guidance, because the only experience he has with any kind of guidance counselor. I mean, not guidance counselor, but the only experience he has with someone giving him guidance is Garrett. Garrett built him back up after his family tore him down, and he did it in the worst of ways, turning him into the ultimate kind of double agent killer. So, and then after that, after he was broken back down again in his containment unit in S.H.I.E.L.D., he found his brother and he found his parents, and then burnt them alive together in their family home, and then proudly announced that he didn't have to look back at their bodies anymore. So, yeah, I don't think he's the best person to guide her, but I think part of him does seem to want her to get better, but then why he wants that, what kind of agenda he has for her up his sleeve, he told her, he doesn't want anything out of it. I think, he wants to maybe repay the favor in a way that he believes is better, because he knows that Garrett destroyed him. He knows that Garrett turned him into a killer. I think whether or not I think he knows that, but I think whether or not he feels that Garrett, whether or not he feels gratitude towards Garrett, I think he did mention a few times in the previous season that he owes Garrett everything for what he did for him. But I think it's kind of a mixture of knowing that for one thing, Garrett turned him into something very, very bad, but for another thing, he now knows he can survive on his own for a long time now. Garrett taught him that more than anything else. He taught him how to survive on his own in the woods and stuff, and then over time, prepped him for being a Hydra secret agent within S.H.I.E.L.D. But he taught him how to survive and taught him how to kill and stuff. So that kind of stuff. It's allowed him to last this long. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's not. He can do undercover work. He can do all that kind of stuff. So he knows that it's a bad thing, but it's also what's kept him alive this long. So it's like a mixture of gratitude, but also knowledge of the fact that acknowledgement of the fact that what he did wasn't right, but it's why Ward's alive to this day. So it's kind of like a weird thing, I think, for him repaying that favor, like helping Agent 33 get back what she lost. So yeah, but now she has her face back. She has her original face back. Burnt scars and all, but I think, so does she have two masks now? So she has one mask, which allows her to replicate her original face, but then she has the other mask, which I think is the older mask, I think, which is basically like fused into her skin, because, when May electrocuted it, it tore itself apart, but then it burned into her face as well. So where the burn marks were, that's where the mask itself was either burned away or burned into her skin, so she couldn't really take it off without maybe peeling her skin off too, which would just be horrifying. So she has two masks now. The original one, which is burned in, and then the second mask which is when she can actually get replicate her own face, but with the burn marks too. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, because then if that's the case, I don't think she should have the burn marks. But then if it's her original face, it's then burned into her skin, so it's replicating that stuff. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I don't know. But yeah, because she couldn't even remember who she was. She was brainwashed, and then after that she wore the mask, and then she forgot who she was completely, and all she knew was that she was Agent 33 and that she worked for Hydra. So how she got the knowledge of her original face back, I'm not really sure, unless Ward managed to track that down. I don't know, because he spent some time tracking down Bakshi and helping her get into the US base with that. So yeah, but yeah, Ward and 33, their dynamic is going fairly well so far. So yeah. I think other fun tidbits in the episode were like Lola. She has a very, very sweet and personal history with Coulson, not just being some flying car, but there's a reason he never lets anyone touch her, because she doesn't need to be fixed up. I mean, she's an old car, sure, and she's had some enhancements, like the flight system, but besides from that, she's a very, very old car, and Coulson holds it especially close to his heart because it's the car he built with his dad. So he initially was somewhat reluctant. He wasn't too enthusiastic because, he saw the other kids outside playing catch and whatever and having fun with each other, and he felt like he was stuck at home building a car with his dad. But then afterwards, he saw how beautiful the car was and stuff like that, and then, I think it definitely provided him with some kind of bonding activity for his father, for him and his father too. So he holds it that much closer to his heart. So that's why he never lets anyone touch it, because, if someone touches it and then they upgrade it, it loses everything him and his father worked together to put together. So all those parts are stuff that him and his father worked together on. So that's why. So I think the one enhancement, you just add something to the car, but it doesn't change it too much. So it still uses the car's system and the power and everything, but the enhancement is just, it's just that. So he didn't have to take out any of the wheels. He maybe just added like the rocket boosters in and, added some new mechanics, but nothing gets taken out, just stuff gets put in. So, yeah, so now I am with him. Don't ever change Lola. Do not ever touch Lola. Don't ever change her. She's beautiful and perfect just the way she is, and Coulson and his father, Phil and his father, made sure of that. So I think that's some really, really sweet backstory. And I think Daisy felt like she was meant to be the Corvette in it. She felt like I'm kind of stuck as to how she is the Corvette. I don't know. Well, yeah, I think it's the fact that she's still the same old Daisy / Skye. I think they've still yet to use her real name in this, or her birth name. And I think I should probably point out, if she does end up sticking out with Skye instead of Daisy, if she doesn't want to use it, I'll respect that. I'll go back to Skye. But Daisy is such a beautiful name, and since the start of that reveal, I've been over the top excited about being able to use that name, and I've been calling her that ever since. But if the show does take that turn where she actually ends up sticking with Skye instead of going with Daisy, I'll support her. I'll go back to calling her Skye. If she decides to reclaim Skye, if she decides to reclaim Daisy and she wants to be Daisy again, I'll support her for that too. So felt like that just needed putting out there. A lot of people don't really use Daisy that much, and I've been using it since the beginning. So yeah, but whichever way she goes, I'll support her and I'll call her whatever she wants to be called. So yeah, but she, I think she's still the same old Skye. She's still the same old Skye that the team knew, but the team is very much in a place of fear and anxiety right now because of all that's going on. So they're kind of I'd say they're rightfully afraid of what could happen and what might happen given everything that's already happened. So yeah, so she's the Corvette in that sense. That she's still the same old Skye, and she shouldn't be changed. She shouldn't be fixed by anything. Jem, I think she seems to think that she can fix her, but she's not broken. She's not. I mean, she's in a place of fear, and I think she's damaged in the sense that she's in a place of fear herself right now, and she needs kind of reassurance and helping to get her back to a point of recovery. But she's got this enhancement too. She's been given the enhancement just like Lola was. She was given the enhancement of these powers. And she just needs to learn to come into tune with them and to come to peace with who she is now. And she can go back to being the same old Skye or Daisy, whichever one she chooses, and just go forth having these powers. So yeah, I think that one makes sense. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. Again, didn't really seem like a huge deal. Just seemed mostly, I mean, a fair enough mix between like drama and kind of some sense of calmness and some sense of more like grounded stuff. Seeing Talbot back was fun again. Seeing him losing his shit over there being a mole in his base was fun. Like I think I was wondering. I think the like when he grabbed her cheeks, I thought her mask is gonna pull off, but no, he was just pulling at her cheeks randomly. And she's like, sir, it's me. I was like, oh, does that have harassment allegations written over it? But no, I mean I think he did have a reason. He thought there was a mole in his base, and he needed to find out who it was. It was a matter of security. So yeah, but I think she was the only one he touched. Everyone else he just asked them questions, and then you're like, yep, that's the right answer. You're not the mole. You're the real person. But then once he got to her, it was like, aha, your cheeks, they're fake. But yeah, I don't know. It was a fun thing. I mean, people died, so it wasn't truly fun. But I mean, it had some kind of comedic high points to it. And then in the end, I think now this kind of further solidifies the alliance between S.H.I.E.L.D. and the army, because they're both after the same people, and Coulson assured him that they would catch on to Warden 33 before too much more damage was done. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. If I missed out on anything, or if I got something wrong, then feel free to correct me. Feel free to correct me. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode, what you enjoyed and what you didn't, and what you think about everything that went down with Daisy and Coulson and everything else, and the pointy shield. What you guys think of it? What you guys think that if you guys think they're better than they're better than Coulson's shield, or if you think they're worse or whatever. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. So that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 14, titled Love in the Time of Hydra. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next in this season. The uncut reaction will be available on Patreon, so feel free to go check that out. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.